I met John in his brother's living room. Sunlight came in sideways through the double glass doors, catching the dust in the air and turning it into something almost holy. He was military fit, wearing a worn t-shirt and jeans that contoured his hips. I noticed his hands first. Long fingers, clean nails, a faint scar across one knuckle as he reached out to greet me. He looked up and smiled. "Nice to meet you." Something in me tilted and sparked when I caught his blue eyes set back in his masculine chiseled face. It wasn't dramatic. No thunder, no angels, just a quiet internal shift, like a compass needle snapping into place without asking permission. We were both Christians, in our 20s, slender builds. I played soccer through college, and John, well, just looked good. Both of us had learned how to keep our bodies disciplined and our longings unnamed. I had come to visit his older brother Josh, a friend and romantic crush I'd met at an ex-gay conference, a place where men like me gathered to talk about healing and holiness, about surrender and strength, about everything except how desperately we wanted to be touched. John was not supposed to impact me the way he did. I felt attracted and somehow loyal to his brother. I didn't want to betray whatever connection, secret desires they may be, that I had with Josh. But I couldn't help myself. Josh was 28. I was 26. John was younger, 24. Handsome, reserved, intriguing, just my type. A living reminder of everything I was trying not to feel. I suppressed the thoughts. And yet, Josh flew out of town for work, and John and I spent the day together almost accidentally, running errands, walking through town, sitting across from each other at cafe tables, knees occasionally brushing beneath the wood. Our conversations flowed easily, from books, to faith, to family, and every so often slipped into quieter territory, the kind you only enter when you sense someone else knows the language of restraint. When he laughed, his whole body came alive. When he listened, he held eye contact just a second longer than expected. I felt myself growing warmer, more alert, dropping my guard. I was acutely aware of my own body, my breath, my posture, the way desire gathered low and steady inside me. By evening, the air between us felt thick, charged, as if we were both standing near something flammable, pretending not to notice the heat. After takeout, we sat on the living room floor across from each other, backs against the furniture, knees drawn up. A single lamp glowed in the corner, softening the room. John adjusted himself, leaning forward as I stole a quick glance of his crotch, only to catch myself. I looked up at his face and found his shy, sly grin staring back. We continued our conversation, ever deepening, to the point of what felt like a confessional. Revealing secrets long held close and only shared after years of trust, we confided in one another well into the night. "I don't think I've ever talked this much," he said quietly, looking down as he clasped his hands, "or shared what I have with you with another guy." I didn't rush him. I'd learned by then how fragile courage like this could be for men. "I've always wanted to be close enough to someone else, another guy," he paused before continuing, "to be able to." My chest tightened, not with surprise, but recognition. The unmistakable shock of being seen. John knew that his brother Josh and I had met at an ex-gay conference, and so I told him my truth then, about the prayers, the fasting, the years of believing that if I were faithful enough, disciplined enough, God would change me, about how lonely that kind of faith could be, about how desire didn't fade, it waited. We shared our secrets, our shadowed longings as if for the first time, because it was our first to reveal so much depth and feel the closeness, the comfort of another man. He cried, openly, uncontained. His shoulders shook as something long held finally gave way. Without thinking, I moved closer to him. He leaned into me, and I wrapped my arms around his back and held on. And it was everything. I could feel his body pressed against mine, warm, solid, breathing, His shoulder fit naturally beneath my chin. My hands rested on his back, aware of muscle and heat, and the simple, devastating intimacy of holding another man who trusted me enough to fall apart in my arms. And in that closeness, my desire sharpened and spiraled into fantasy. I took his hand, leading him down the hall, opening the bedroom door. We undressed without shame, letting our bodies meet without explanation or apology, letting desire have its way with us, not hurried or rough, but full and deliberate, a long-denied hunger finally answered. We fell asleep tangled together, skin against skin, no walls left standing. But this was just my imagination gone wild, a fantasy I'd been rehearsing my entire life, and it terrified me. Because even as my body came alive in his embrace on the living room floor as an invitation to enact my long-held desire, another voice rose up inside me, older, louder, trained by years of scripture and fear. This is not who you were supposed to be. This will cost you everything. You can still stop. And I did. Eventually, his tears slowed. We pulled apart, close enough to feel each other's warmth, far enough to breathe again. That night, I made a careful, aching compromise. He pulled his sleeping bag on the floor beside me. I settled on the couch above him, fully clothed, careful, contained. As the lights went out, I lay on my side and looked down at him. The back of his neck caught what little moonlight remained, smooth, bronzed. His hair had been cut short, military neat, the line at the nape precise. I traced it with my eyes, regretfully, not with my hands. His back rose and fell beneath his shirt, the outline of muscle unmistakable even at rest. I wanted to reach for him. I didn't. I prayed instead. I asked God once again to take the desire away, to seal up whatever had opened in me, to forgive me, not for anything I had done, but for everything I had wanted. My mind wandered as I dreaded the drive across country the next day back to Kentucky and my faith community and theological training in seminary for ministry. How could I leave John now that he had been so vulnerable with me? Sleep came slowly, and when it did, it carried the shape of John with it, and his brother, Josh. A gloriously complicated love triangle of desire and desperation and denial. My life would be shaped by love triangles, covenants filled with tension, angst, passion, and pleasure. John, Josh, Dave. Jason, Dave, Tuck. Dave, God, desire.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Good Life Lab with Dr. Dave, where queer stories meet the science and psychology of a good life. I'm Dr. Dave. I'm a therapist, college professor turned YouTuber and content creator. So I'm trying something different with what you just watched. It's not my normal content on this channel. So like I said, the purpose of this channel is to show you queer stories and also the science and psychology of a good life. So this is more of the queer stories part. So what you just saw is a glimpse into my story that I've called A Shadowed Life, Turning 40 and My Last Ditch Effort to Not Be Gay. And unlike all the other AI gay stories out there, it's 100% true. Everything here is exactly how I remember it. Okay, fine, I had a little help. I did use AI to help me write the script. I used AI for the images and the videos and the narration. That's not my real voice, believe it or not. But other than that, everything is authentic. Well, except for some of the minor details. I did change some of the names around and compiled some of the characters, but it is really a true, as much as possible, representation of what happened in my life. And really several volumes if I do it all. But this is the first volume. So if you like the slow burn gay romance that unfolds over decades, like heated rivalry, You'll love this story. I am testing this new format, the storytelling format on this channel, The Good Life Lab, but I'll most likely start another channel to feature this mostly primarily. Let me know what you think. So maybe also something a little different from the other AI generated gay stories you're seeing on YouTube is not just that this is a true story, my story, but I am integrating the science and psychology of a good life, things that help me along the way. I have a very dark story for many decades. I went through a lot of depression and suicidal, tendencies, and just I didn't think I was going to make it through most of what I was going through, being gay and not being able to express it. And so I learned a lot from those experiences that I want to pass along. And so that's why I'm integrating a lot of the science and psychology of a good life into these stories to help you maybe glean some more information about how you can improve your own life from my story, my experience. That's what's different about what I'm doing here. So it is similar, as AI generated in many ways, but there's also very much authenticity. It's my true story, and also science to back up the things that help me along the way. So any feedback would be really helpful to me. And if you haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. That opens up a lot of opportunities for me once I reach that point. So please subscribe if you would. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Have a great day.